Alright, welcome back to another video, and yes, it's going to be an app session, which means these videos are not going to be as viewed as my others, but that is a-okay. I just love to rant. Anyways, first things first, Dispatch got robbed. Yeah, 100%. The only reason why it wasn't Game of the Year, well, nominated at least, is because it came out super late in the year. Which is unfortunate because Dispatch is better than any other game on that list. Now, I haven't played Silksong, though I do understand that it has some sheer aura when it comes to the sales it got on the PlayStation Store and Nintendo eShop. It crashed both of them for at least an hour or two when the game just dropped. But and I haven't seen clear Obscure 33 or whatever it's called. I haven't seen or played it, so I can't necessarily be the judge of how good it is. But dude, this patch got robbed so hard. There even have Bonanza as a nominee. Donkey Kong Bonanza as a nominee. And yeah, I saw Kelly Keen play it, a little bit of it. But it shouldn't be Game of the Year. Just no. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say for this session. Well, not this session. That section of this. Yeah, you get my point. What's next? Oh yeah. Blue Lock. I want to talk a little bit about sports animes. I love sports animes, but a lot of people don't. It's either because it's cliche or PNG lock. When people has terrible animation. Yeah, no. If you actually read the manga, or at least get caught up with the manga through YouTube, which is what I do, the main character Isagi should be held in court and sent to jail, bro. Some of the stuff he says are just bombastic. I haven't seen the new chapter stuff yet, which I will literally right after this app session. But yeah, no, Blue Lock is actually insane. People look into it oh yeah, Isagi kind of has a point, but then yet again, send him to jail, bro. He hasn't said or done anything super atrocious. The craziest thing he said was Ego Jinpachi soccer is not enough for him anymore. Okay, for context, Ego Jinpachi is the most as his name implies, egotistical character in Blue Lock. So saying that his soccer is not enough for Isagi saying that his soccer is not enough for him, crazy, absolute crazy work. It's like a blind man awakening and seeing again and trashing his cane. He used to walk with. Yeah, no, that's genuinely insane. I'm gonna keep saying that. Blue Lock manga, actually crazy. What else I want to talk about? Underrated stuff. Speaking of underrated stuff, I just got this manga called The Climber. It's pretty underrated and very niche for manga wise, because you get the big boys like Berserk, Monster, JJK, even JoJo's, but you get the smaller stuff like The Climber. I only have the first volume and I'm only 120 pages in, kind of. And yeah, I'm not that far into it, but dude, it has got to be it should be an anime. 100%. If they don't already have an anime, they need to have an anime. And no, not by JC stuff. Oh yeah, that's the thing I gotta talk about. But first, let me talk more about The Climber. So The Climber, if you don't already know, it follows a guy called Buntaro Mori. And he switches to this, I don't know, this is my eye, hold on. Alright. There's, switches to his high school, and this high school is filled with guys who climb on a daily basis, kind of training to mountain climbing and whatnot, as hence the name of the book, The Climber. But in like the beginning, which I'm recommending in the beginning anyways, but like Boontuoro, I'm just gonna call him Mori just for convenience. But he shocks everyone by climbing the entirety of the school. Like imagine like the actual size of a high school. Sorry, I'm like stuttering and whatnot. But basically, he climbed all the way to the top on like a steel pipe, pretty much. Yeah, I know, crazy. And the bully, Miyamoto, he's ripped. Literally, if you see any climber in real life, they're kind of ripped. Well, of course, ripped enough to like muscle and grab things and move, but not like fighting ripped. But yeah, no, Climber is a pretty good book. People should 100% get it. It's pretty funny. At times too, very funny. Oh yeah, One Punch Man. Yeah, no. It is unfortunate that a lot of people were talking about how unfortunate One Punch Man has became. It really is, because One Punch Man is one of those series where, yeah, no, JC Staff is like, I'm not disrespecting JC Staff at all or the director. I am not disrespecting them in any way, but they are not the fit for One Punch Man, especially with the stuff that's coming up soon in the manga. Bro, JCF is not equipped. I know Side Games is taking up a few things, so they're going to feel very rushed. So what I'm trying to say is that there are way better animation studios. Also, why does Bandai have the rights to One Punch Man? They shouldn't. Bandai Namco should just stick to games. Because they make some pretty good games too, not gonna lie. But no, One Punch Man should have the pinnacle of animation. Mappa, Ufotable, big studios. Now, I'm not myself, I'm not the one to be nitpicky about animation, but I'm nitpicky about good shows. What I mean by that is shows that deserve better. I'm not looking about animation, but if a show deserves better, especially because the artwork that the creator of One Punch Man does for his actual manga, they need to live up to that expectation. And I know, it's unfortunate, really. I know everyone's tired of hearing how absolute horrible the animation is and whatnot for One Punch Man, but it has to be said. So Bandai's eventually gonna be like, you know what? We're gonna need to put this to a different studio that actually knows what they're doing. They're rushed too. No, the deadlines in anime are atrocious. That's why they need to do more movies about it. Have very high tech animation, like Demon Slayer and Chainsaw Man. By the way, both those movies were really great. People are like, oh yeah, Chainsaw Man's better than Demon Slayer. No, they're not. No. Because Chainsaw Man's more of a slice of life in the first half of the movie. And I'm not saying that's bad. I'm just saying that, you can't really say one's better than the other one. They both were stellar movies, for sure. Animation. You know me, I'm not picky about animation, but the animation for both movies, spectacular. And then for the fights in each of the movies were amazing. So in reality, there's not really anything that makes Demon Slayer or Chainsaw Man better than the other one. There's not. But But yeah, that's pretty much it for that. Yeah, no. People should really try to research Blue Lock. Isagi is a menace, bro. He is a menace. Also, I literally just got back from playing some Iron Strike. I love Iron Strike. I really do. It is the best VR game I've ever played. Because I've played, Gorilla Tag, Gravity League, Beat Saber. In Red Room, I have a lot. Well, I had a lot of VR games. I had to delete like some I probably never play because the memory for that thing is not the greatest apparently. So I have to like delete some like videos and whatnot. Not enough for YouTube. I mean like on the system, so I can like keep posting for you guys, obviously. But yeah, no, Iron Strike has got to be the best VR game ever. Well, first of all, it has good gameplay, and yeah, it is a bit laggy. Well, not laggy. It here's my here's my number one problem with it. Where if you don't already know, if you haven't seen my Iron Strike videos, which you probably should have, because I'm pretty sure there's one like I post one pretty much every day, but the hosts, where like a host is somebody that like comes first in a server, but when that person leaves, it should be transported to a different person. You know what I mean? Like say you got one person one, this person leaves, but then this person becomes the new host. So like yeah, like an infection thing, but it should be like a random person at choice is the next host. So like it doesn't kick everyone out when the person leaves, which it does really suck. When you got like a good build, literally, I would have like the greatest build of all time, and then the host just dies. Like it's just, I mean, I get it for sure. I've had that a few times, so I've done that a few times, where my VR just is at like 4% and I can't do another match. So then when I'm the host, and then people just like have to leave that server because I have my thing like just died. Yeah, I love Iron Strike. I really do. All right, I'll use the rest of this time to advocate for One Piece because One Piece is goated. Literally, One Piece is sure one of like the at least like top 10 longest running shows in existence. Of course, number one is probably Sesame Street. I'm just saying. Number one is obviously Sesame Street. From like the 70s on. Basically Doraemon. That too. But like, dude. If you're not caught up with One Piece, or at least watch like up-to-date stuff, you need to lock in and either grind through it or just spoil yourself on what's happening in currently. Because, bro, it is a completely different show from how it started out as. Like, One Piece starts out, Luffy being a goofy little guy and, like, defeating the Marines. And then, in the modern day, it's like, oh yeah, there's, like, the 5 elders that have, like, crazy Zoan devil fruits. And then it's just like, bro. And, yeah, Egghead is completely cooked. Egghead is legit cooked. And it really is a meme of how, like, One Piece in itself is a meme for how long it's been active for. Like, literally. But also, yeah, Squid Game. Squid Game, pretty good. I like the ending of Squid Game. I don't care what anyone says. I understand people don't like it because they didn't get what they wanted, but the thing is, that is how Squid Game should have ended. Although, to be fair, the referencing, or not referencing, alluding to an American Squid Game, and no, not the goofy freaking show on Netflix called Squid Game The Challenge. Now that, that's, last season was pretty cringy. I didn't, but yeah, no, the actual Squid Game show, that ending, it ended how it should have ended, with like legit, like full on Chainsaw Man level of depression. Or like Cyberpunk Edgerunners. Oh yeah, that's another thing. Cyberpunk Edgerunners is getting another season next year. Nobody could have predicted that because we all lost hope. Literally all of us lost hope. And yeah, I did get announced a while back that season 2 of Cyberpunk Edgerunners would exist, but that's until like next year. And I will do a full-on yap session about that, and I will rewatch it next year too, like right before like trailers and whatnot happen to it. So yeah, I'll rewatch it next year. Even though it's already been like 2 or 3 years since I've seen it first time, bro. That was a good show. Though to be fair, it was quite depressing. It really was. That's a good question. Is Cyberpunk Edge Runners as depressing as the oh let's go anime and anime. So what I mean by that is like compare the what we have of what's been animated of Chainsaw Man to Cyberpunk Edge Runners. Like which one is more depressing? I don't know. Comment down below if you already know what I mean. But if you don't, stay innocent, guys. Stay innocent, boys. All right. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I rambled on for I don't know 15, 16 minutes. Yeah, that's pretty much it. See ya.